Good morning and a happy Wednesday to you, Mountain family. I'm Amelia Lee here with you on this March 19th, and the time is 6 o'clock, which means it is time to check on in with meteorologist Megan Dusmal this morning. Megan, what can we expect for our day ahead?
Well, we're going to have some cloudy skies this morning, but I think the main story is just going to be those temperatures. I mean, you're walking outside the door today, and it's going to be not too bad, and we're going to continue to see warmth as we're heading into the afternoon. Here's a look at that satellite radar just so you can visualize as those clouds are moving into our region. And here's a look at those temperatures, because I was not playing around. We're seeing 62 degrees right now in Irvine and Monticello. That is a little bit chillier as you're traveling towards our Virginia counties, where we do see 37 degrees in Jonesville and 42 in Clintwood. But everyone will see that warmth this afternoon. Now, we do have some fast wind speeds today and those cloudy skies, so it's not going to be a perfect summer day, but it is going to be warm and windy, so be watching out for that. High temperatures in the mid to upper 70s, seeing some 80s as you travel towards West Virginia. Here's a look how we'll get to the high temperature today around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark. Overall, just going to be a cloudy day. Amelia.
A deadly fire swept through a home in southern Kentucky, killing 3 people early yesterday morning. The 3 people were identified as 78-year-old Norma Dean Puddett, her son 55-year-old Jerry Todd, and granddaughter 17-year-old Briley. Briley Puddett was a student at Southwestern High School. She also played on the fast-pitch softball team, and she chose to sit out this season, but her coach says she was the ultimate teammate. The fire also killed 1 dog, but others were saved. And administrators with Southwestern High School provided a statement regarding Briley Puddett's death, in part saying, quote, "Our school community is deeply saddened by the death of Southwestern High School student Briley Puddett and family members. Our thoughts and condolences are with everyone grieving this terrible tragedy." More information is coming out regarding a death investigation in Laurel County. Deputies found a man dead outside of a home off of Parker Road early Tuesday afternoon. They say 45-year-old Walter Trebello III was shot multiple times after an incident between 2 people. A rifle was recovered at the scene. No one was arrested, and deputies say investigators will present their findings to a Laurel County grand jury. They say there's no danger to the public. Friday was the last day of the legislative session before the veto period. Both chambers rushed to pass bills before the midnight deadline. One of those bills, fast-tracked, House Bill 695, would make changes to Medicaid in Kentucky. Jessica Umbro explains.
Mr. Speaker, the Senate made some technical changes to a good bill.
Late Friday night, the Senate Appropriations and Revenue Committee met, adding Committee Substitute 2 to House Bill 695.
Certain Medicaid recipients must meet work or community engagement participation standards. This simply mandates that the state ask the federal government to consider our request.
The bill passed through the Senate along party lines and swiftly passed through the House, also along party lines.
Clerk will take the roll. There being 72 members voting yea, 19 members voting nay, House Bill 695, as amended in the Senate, concurred in by the House, is finally passed.
Despite House Bill 695 already passing through both chambers, facing a potential governor veto and veto override, the group Kentucky Voices for Health are still encouraging people to reach out to their lawmakers to reconsider their support. They say this bill, with its work requirement, only hurts those who rely on Medicaid.
We don't need solutions that are going to provide more onerous paperwork and red tape, or complicated hoops that folks need to jump through just to get their basic healthcare needs met.
Emily Beauregard with Kentucky Voices for Health says the people who will be hurt most are those already doing what's being asked of them.
So many Kentuckians, of course, have multiple part-time jobs. They have fluctuating hours, seasonal income, and those are the Kentuckians who are really going to struggle with mandatory reporting requirements.
Beauregard says she hopes if Governor Beshear vetoes House Bill 695, that lawmakers will give a second thought before overriding that veto. In Frankfort, Jessica Umbro, WKYT.
The veto period runs through March 26th, and lawmakers will reconvene on March 27th and 28th to finish out the session. That's when they can override any vetoes from Governor Beshear. Senator Mitch McConnell was in Elizabethtown Tuesday afternoon, where he made brief comments about the ongoing trade war and its impact on Kentucky businesses. He pointed out that the United States Tariff Act of 1930, which was intended to help American farmers, raised already high import duties on a range of agricultural goods by 20%.
I'm not a fan of tariffs. I hope it works, but if it goes on very long, we'll have more of what we've already experienced in Canada with the taking bourbon off the shelves. And American farmers, we have 70,000 farmers in Kentucky, basically make their money off of trade, export. So I think a long-term trade war would be a mistake.
He points out the tariffs are not a legislative matter, and the only thing Congress can do is complain. Senator Rand Paul's team made their way to eastern Kentucky yesterday in Floyd and Perry counties, meeting with folks impacted by last month's flood. I spoke with those at Hazard Community and Technical College who are working to make a difference.
We are about helping Kentuckians.
Senator Rand Paul's team is traveling throughout eastern Kentucky with a stop at FEMA's Disaster Recovery Center at Hazard Community and Technical College, joining forces with FEMA as they help to salvage what feels unfixable, like pictures and personal documents.
Helping them through that process of some of their family memories that may have been lost. They have a multitude of ways that they can assist people.
Setting up a one-stop shop for the day, getting folks in touch with FEMA.
We just want to get people connected to the right resources, and so that's what we're here to do.
Being able to do something big for people who were hit so hard by the floodwaters.
In a disaster like this, we're all neighbors, but linking up the nonprofit side and the private side to come in to help people in their recovery. So
having some familiarity after the floodwaters washed through in 2022, sending folks scrambling then and now.
We're prepared for this. As soon as the disaster happens, we'll reach out to emergency management to see what immediate things we can do.
President and CEO of HCTC, Jennifer Linden, says as a community college, they are here to work for the community by hosting FEMA and other services.
This is just one of the many things that we do to assist our community, and we're glad to be able to help out in times of need.
With assistance still coming to Appalachia. Earlier in the week, members of Senator Paul's team paid visits to Martin and Pike counties. They also helped out in Breathitt and Clay counties yesterday afternoon. And we do want to remind you that Governor Andy Beshear is set to host a Team Kentucky update today instead of Thursday when it usually happens. The governor will update folks on a variety of topics, including infrastructure improvements, as well as the state's response to natural disasters and severe weather.
Now we do have a little bit of a temperature difference this morning for our western counties. You might only need a light jacket when you head out the door, but for our eastern counties, you might need a winter coat. Here's a look at those current temperatures because we're looking at 60 degrees, 61 in Monticello, 62 for Irvin. And again, as I mentioned, those eastern counties are a little bit chillier, 36 in Grundy and 37 in Jonesville. But don't worry, all places will need to shed that jacket as you're heading into the afternoon because we are going to have warm temperatures across the board with the coldest temperature forecasted at 73 degrees for Wise and Jacksboro, which is not cold at all. We're going to see 81 degrees as you're heading towards Prestonsburg and Logan, and 82 for Pikeville and Grundy with cloudy skies all day long. So hopefully those temperatures don't get as warm, right? We're going to see those clouds stay with us all day long and then a chance of rain pop up as we're heading into the overnight hours. Here's a look at that day planner for today. We'll hit that high temperature around that 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock mark. Stay with us. More mountain news and weather is on the way.